Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Cone, and it is a brand new era over in Los Angeles for the Lakers, more so now than ever, because tonight we saw the end of one of the longest streaks in NBA history. LeBron James had scored 10 plus points, I think it was 1,297 or something like that games, and tonight he scores just 8 in a win over the Toronto Raptors, and it's poetic the way that the streak ends, rather than trying to force up a shot and win the game to get to 10, or, he misses it, it just goes to overtime, and he probably still hits 10. LeBron dished it to Rui Hachimura in the corner, made the right play. He knocks down the corner three. The Lakers go ahead and win. They're the second seed. They're playing extremely well, but it does feel, a little bit bittersweet in a way. It's fun to watch this Lakers team with LeBron, showing some signs of decline. I never want to say that for sure because it's LeBron James. We've seen these slow starts or rough stretches every now and again, especially in his recent career, but he always, goes ahead and puts up like 25, 8 and 8 at the very minimum on a season. But we are seeing a pretty rough start to his campaign so far. He's averaging just 14 points, 4.5 rebounds, 7.8 dimes, won 41% from the field and 25% from three. Tonight, he was just 4-17, did have 11 dimes. So he's still really, really good, but more so now than ever, the torch has been passed. It is no longer the LeBron James Lakers. It is now the Luka Doncic Lakers, and that was really true ever since they made that deal at the deadline last year, bringing in Luka. It's become more clear than ever that it is the Luka Doncic era. They're prioritizing him as they should. He is their new young superstar face of the franchise, and LeBron is 41 years old, and we don't know if he's going to be here past this season. But it's not just the Luka era, it's also Austin Reaves. Reaves has been putting together an unbelievable season so far. Tonight he had 44, 5 and 10 with 13 of 21 shooting. That's 62% from the field and 45% from three. And the three ball has really been the only thing lacking so far in his offensive game this season, but the three-point percentage has really started to pick it up, 37%, and right now he's averaging 29, 5 and 7 on 52% from the field and 37% from three. And he also gets the free throw line a lot. He's really figured out the art of manipulating contact. It's crazy. Reaves has become a genuine star. He's a lock to be an all-star right now, and he's got a really good conversation for all NBA so far this season. And then of course you also have Luka, who's doing Luka Doncic stuff, putting up right around 34, 9 and 9 a night. He's had multiple 20-point first quarters, it feels like, in the last week. He's hit some huge shots. He's in better shape. Like, Luka is playing some of the best basketball of his career. Didn't play in this game because I believe he's welcoming his new child, so congrats to Luka and his family. But yeah, like, Luka's been unbelievable. Reaves has been unbelievable. LeBron has not been that great. And, again, I'm a LeBron guy. He's one of my favorite players ever. I think he's the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. I'm not going to say that LeBron is going to be this rough all season. I just have to see it for a full year before I believe it. Father Time is undefeated, but it does feel like LeBron has been better than anybody ever at staving it off. But even still, even if LeBron gets back to his usual self, it's just, he's the third option now. And for the first time, someone's finally taken the torch from LeBron James in the Lakers era, because it felt like it should have been Anthony Davis. And there were times where it's like, oh, is he the better player now? But it never felt solidified. Now it's like, yeah, of course Luka's better than LeBron James. And with the way LeBron's played so far this season, maybe that doesn't maintain, but Reaves has definitely been better. And I think by the end of the season, there's a world where it's kind of unanimous opinion that, yeah, LeBron is the third best player on this team, or at the very least, he's the third option. Because when Reaves is scoring like this and Luka is scoring like this, there shouldn't be many games where LeBron is putting up more shots than them. Now, he should still be touching the ball a lot because he's still an elite playmaker. Even though he's lost a step, he's still a freight train in some ways. But you can see that there is a physical decline. He got blocked on his last field goal attempt tonight by Scotty Barnes on a turnaround jumper. And that's a shot I feel like I've seen LeBron, get into much quicker in the past. The sciatica, maybe it's still the ramp up period. It's still bothering him. And, he's never had a season where he didn't start off the year, so didn't really have a full training camp and, preseason and things like that. So there are a lot of factors that could play into this, but Reaves has taken an all-star, maybe even all-NBA jump. Luka is one of the 3, 4, 5 best players on the planet. I'd say at worst 4, probably top 3 players on the planet right now. Like, it's of course going to happen by the time LeBron reaches 41. It's insane that it took this long, really, until last year's deadline for it to be, like, oh yeah, firmly unanimous, it's no longer LeBron's team. But all this stuff, and plus the fact that we don't know what LeBron's going to be doing at the end of the season, it doesn't feel like it's going to be a retirement. I just can't see him not doing a retirement tour, but all the indications that we've gotten are that it's probably his last season with the Lakers. I have no idea where he's going to go. That's honestly one of the most intriguing storylines for me going into next summer, is where does LeBron James Reaves end up playing next season? Is it in Cleveland again for a homecoming? Is it Miami one more time? Is it somewhere new? Like, does he go play with Steph Curry in Golden State like he's kind of always wanted to do? I don't really know. But between all these things, it's a new era. It is a brand new era. For the first time since 2019, it's the Luka Doncic era. It's not the LeBron era. It's also partially the Austin Reaves one. I've seen some people throw him in, trade machines for Giannis, and like maybe there's a world where something insane happens if it's not Giannis, some other star. But for the moment, it's also the Austin Reaves era because he's no longer this overrated player in the Lakers like some people thought he was. He is unbelievable. He's one of the most complete offensive players in the sport. Like, he is a playmaker, a three-point shooter. He's unstoppable getting downhill. There was one play late in this game, I think it tied it up, where Reaves went 1-on-3, 1-on-4, and just scored. He's just that good. It's crazy. He was an undrafted player. They've really done a great job of developing him and turning him into this guy. He's, of course, worked his butt off himself. Now we've got this Lakers team that's playing really well with LeBron really not being there to start the season and him not playing well so far. It hasn't really mattered. Honestly, it doesn't really matter whether Luka's been in the lineup or Reaves has been. Like, everybody's picked each other up. The depth is better than I was expecting. JJ Redick, I said it last year, I'll say it again. I think he's a really good coach. And this is a team that feels like, even if they're not on the level of like the OKC Thunder or I don't think the Denver Nuggets, but, their defense is slipping. Maybe there's a world where they're able to compete with like Denver and Houston. But at the very least, if this team gets a favorable path, they could win a playoff series. They could possibly win 2. They could end up in the conference finals. I think that's kind of where it stops, just because I think when healthy, nobody's beating Oklahoma City. But this has been a really fun Lakers team to watch. And I'm happy that we're getting to see LeBron, be able to finally take a bit of a backseat. I hope it, leads to a little bit better production down the line. But even if it doesn't, it's just, it's bittersweet. It's cool to see, a new era in Los Angeles, but also, like I said, LeBron's one of my favorite players ever, and seeing the 10-point streak end, I don't know how to feel. I don't think there's a better way it could have possibly ended than him making the right play, passing it up. It's something people have criticized him for in the past. In reality, I think that's one of his superpowers is, sometimes he's going to force up the shot a little bit because he's the best player, but more often than not, he's just going to make what the right play is. Is it, he gets to a spot and he's like, yeah, I like this look for myself, or do I have a wide open teammate? And even if the teammate misses, it's just the right basketball play. He's utilizing his vision. He's trusting his teammates, and ultimately, I think that is a superpower in and of itself. So, yeah, just all this LeBron stuff with the streak ending has really got me reflecting on the end of his career, where it's going to go from here, this new era in Los Angeles, and it's one that is really promising. It's crazy how often we have to talk about the Luka Doncic trade, but we, of course, do. It felt like the Lakers were just kind of down and out. When LeBron retired or, he regressed or whatever, it was like, okay, well, AD is in his early heading into mid 30s. He doesn't really feel like he's going to be capable of leading the team to the next level. And again, we just talked about how he never really forcibly took the torch from LeBron James. It always kind of felt like at the best for them, a 1A, 1B situation, never like AD is the guy. LeBron is number 2. Never really got there. So it's like, okay, well, can AD lead a team? Probably not. Where are we going to possibly go from here? And I was like, oh, okay, we have Luka Doncic, we have Austin Reaves. They've got their backcourt figured out for the future if they want to keep it that way, or if they don't think it can work as that duo, which I think it can, then maybe you just swap out Austin Reaves for another 4. His trade value is way up. And again, I don't want to harp on the Luka trade all the time, but it would have felt a lot better if they at least got Austin Reaves out of the deal. I don't know how they didn't even get out with Austin Reaves, fleecing of the century by Rob Pelinka, but the future feels relatively bright. I like what the Lakers have going on. They're going to have some cap space coming up here relatively soon. I mean, Reaves is going to be in for a massive payday coming up here soon. He's going to make a ton of money, and that's going to handicap them a little bit. But even still, it's Los Angeles. They'll always find ways to go ahead and bring in new talent like we saw with the Luka Doncic trade. But it's a new era, and it's a very promising one over in Lakerland, and I've been pleasantly surprised by how good this team has been. I thought they were going to be kind of more of don't do the thing, but like a 6 to a 7, like edge of the play-in to just in the playoffs type of team, because I felt like the defense was really going to struggle, and there have been defensive struggles. That is still something I'm definitely worried about, especially when we get to a playoff setting. It's why I worry a lot about them against the Denver or Houston, and definitely against Oklahoma City. But with the offensive firepower that they have, I do think for them to reach their ceiling, they still need LeBron to be better than this. He's got to be back to even last season where his stats were 24.5, 8, and 8.2 on 51% shooting, 37% from 3. Even if he can just be kind of around that, a tick down, then that's still a massive plus. And I think they need that LeBron to make it to a conference finals, probably even win a series in this Western Conference. I mean, right now, out West, who would they end up facing in this first run series? They're the 2 seed right now. Number 7 is Phoenix. They could definitely win that series against Phoenix, or Golden State, who's number 8 right now, the winner of that play play-in matchup. If it's Minnesota, that's a little bit scary if they fall down a little bit, because they're only one game up on the 5-seeded Nuggets, the 4-seeded Spurs, and the 3-seeded Rockets. They're all 5.5 back of the Thunder, one game back of the Lakers. So it's everybody's in the mix right now. It's right there. So they need LeBron to probably amp it up a little bit, but even so, it's been impressive how they've managed to stay afloat despite that. And it's nice to see someone kind of take the torch from LeBron, and we can kind of see him just ride off into the sunset a little bit. Is it in Los Angeles? Is it in Cleveland, Miami, somewhere new? I don't really know, but it's exciting to think about. So yeah, shout out to the Lakers. Rui Hachimura, shout out to him for hitting the 3. DeAndre Ayton, I've been pleasantly surprised with him this season. 17 and 8 rebounds. Maybe he's actually a big of the future for this team, and it feels like he's done a good job of saving his career this season. 14 and 7 from Jake LaRavia, 12 from Nick Smith. They've got some fun stuff going on over there. For the Raptors, it's kind of a rough game down the stretch for Brandon Ingram. Scotty Barnes missing some shots here and there, but both of them were still fine, like 27 and 7 from Brandon Ingram, 23, 11, 9 with 3 blocks from Scotty. They really missed Jakob Poeltl in this game, him down low as that anchor. But yeah, I mean, it's just impressive for the Lakers to beat this good Raptors team that stayed in it, regardless of any of the insanity that Austin Reaves was making happen. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the games real quick. The Sixers beat the Warriors in what was a thriller of a game you wouldn't have thought. So no Steph Curry, no Jimmy Butler. Draymond played 9 minutes and left with injury, but the Warriors role player stepped up again. Pat Spencer, like he was in the OKC game, was awesome with 16 points. Buddy Hield had 14. Quentin Post had 10, hit a big 3 down the stretch, 14 from Moses Moody. There was a lot to like from the Warriors role players, but in the end, VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, the future of the Sixers, saved the day. Maxey puts up a shot, misses it. VJ Edgecombe gets the putback, an incredible putback, by the way. Great timing and anticipation there, but then the Warriors outlet it to a wide open D'Anthony Melton, it seems like on the break, but Tyrese Maxey gets the chase down block, and they go ahead and win this one. VJ Edgecombe said after the game, it's his first game winner at any level of basketball he's ever played, which is really cool. It's in the NBA against the Golden State Warriors. He finishes with 10, 6, 5, and 3 on 50% shooting, and Maxey had 35, 3, 2, 2, and 1, 4 of 10 from 3. He has really burgeoned into a borderline superstar. He's become very well the face of the franchise at this point, because Embiid continues to not really look like Joel Embiid, which really sucks. I hope there's, still somewhat of the old Embiid in the tank, and it just is taking some time. But yeah, big win for the Sixers, continuing to carry this momentum. And if you are a Dubs fan, I'd feel pretty good about the way they played against the Sixers in this one with the injuries. The Wolves beat the Pelicans 125-116. Julius Randle, revenge game for him, I guess, 28, 9, and 3. Not a great game from Ant, 11 points, 8 turnovers, just 3 of 6 from the field. They were really just saying, like, hey, anybody else but Ant beat us, and they did. I mean, Jay McDaniels had 14, 7, 5, 2, and 2. Naz Reid had 19 and 6. That's 6 times 7 boards. Yeah, I mean, they were impressive. Like, the Wolves, they've had their ups and downs, but even though they've had some really bad losses mixed in there, they're still in the thick of the Western Conference playoff race, like we just talked about, which is really all you can ask for at this point. And for the Pelicans, 21 from Trey Murphy, 20 from Sadiq Bey, who they should really try and trade. Like, he actually, I think, has some value. 20 from Jeremiah Fears, and 12 from Derek Queen. Like, the two of them have easily been the biggest bright spots for the Pelicans this season. And it's nice to see that they have some cornerstones to build around, even though they're 3-20. A video about the Pelicans is probably coming up here soon. Same with the Boston Celtics, who beat the Wizards 146-101. They're just blowing some teams out. I mean, it's Washington. It's not, too crazy, too unexpected, but Derek White is finding his footing. He had 30 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. No Jaylen Brown in this one, and it just didn't matter. Again, it is the Washington Wizards, but even still, like, 8 of 8 perfect shooting for 22, 7, 3, 2, and 1 for Jordan Walsh, who's been awesome this season. Hugo Gonzalez is really starting to figure it out. He had 14 and 5. And Josh Minott had 11. He's been playing good defense. I'm starting to think that if Tatum comes back and they make a big trade, Zubats, I'd really like to see them go for Zubats. This is a team that could still compete for the crown in the Eastern Conference. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. And then the final game was the Jazz knocking off the Brooklyn Nets. Again, not super surprising. Lowry with 30 and 8. Keontae with 29 and 10 dimes. And for the Nets, Noah Clowney, 29 points, 3 blocks. He was really good. No Michael Porter Jr., no Cam Thomas, of course, still with injury. It was good to see somebody step up. He was awesome. He's been having a pretty solid season so far. 23 from Zaire Williams, 17 from Danny Wolf, 12 from Ben Seraph. So some stuff from some of their rookies, just 3 points in 20 minutes from Yegor Doman. Like, there are a lot of ups and downs, and I just wish they'd really lean in heavily to the rookies that they have on this roster, because they drafted 5 of them, and I still have no idea what really any of them are. Although I will say Danny Wolf, I think, has shown the most flashes that I've been excited about up until this point. But yeah, those are the games from today. Want to hear your thoughts on those? Are your takeaways? Also, your thoughts on LeBron's streak ending, this new era in Los Angeles. Angeles. Where do you think it goes? What is the ceiling on this team? Where could they go both this year and of course beyond? What should the move be? Should they keep Reaves, or should they try and, you know, dangle him for like a Giannis or something insane out there, you know, another star that fits maybe a little bit better, although I don't think that fits that bad, but maybe you do. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Appreciate you all watching. I'll see y'all later. Real and stay back.